launch an instance. The beginning of the video, you need to launch an instance, and it should be EC2 instance. Name the instance. Name an instance for the EC2. Naming my instance as my SP's instance JD. Yeah, you can use the free tier and put the uh, to T2 medium instance type to T2 medium and create a new key pair. .pem RSA. Select RSA and .pem. And for the security groups, add HTTP. HTTPS is not that required. Okay, you can add or not add it, but in custom TCP, add custom TCP type all, as we are using API gateway. It will have load balancing. Now go for launch an instance. Yeah, I forgot to do the anywhere. Okay, for one of the security group. Okay, launch an instance. Yeah, let the instance start working. Okay, it is still in pending state. It will take some time to get the instance launched. Yeah, now copy the DNS IP address of DNS and go to your microservice. Uh, first go for any microservice, and you need to change the IP address. You use localhost normally. Wait a second. Yeah, application properties. Go to your application properties of your microservice and change the localhost to your IP address, to the DNS IP address, and do for the same for all the microservices. Create the Maven instance. Follow the same steps. Uh, for all the microservices, you need to change the localhost to IP address. Yeah, localhost to IP address of the EC2. Check whether you used the right IP address. If you want, you can deploy each of the microservices and on different instances, different EC2 instance. But make sure that your instances all are running on the same region, so that you won't have any issues coming. It won't take much longer to communicate between microservices. Also change the IP address of your Kafka. Yeah, Kafka IP address, before it used to be 127.0.0. May I change it to the IP address that we use right now. In authentication, we are using Kafka in authentication user profile, right? So that's why you need to change them in authentication and user profile. So for your microservice, if you are using MySQL or MongoDB, if you are using MongoDB, connect it with Atlas MongoDB cloud. And for MySQL, you need to create a database for RDS database with MySQL configuration. The free tier and put the password. Make public access. Yes. Create. Database might take some time to get created. So let's first go for the EC2. Check whether it is got created or not. Yeah. It's still showing pending. Yeah. Now it started running. Connect the EC2 instance. Yeah, you need to wait for until you have status 2 by 2 check passed. Before that, do not connect or you will get blocked. Wait till status 2 by 2 and wait for a minute wait for a minute even after 2 by 2 so that you won't get blocked. Yeah, I'm just saving my SSH. Go to your key pair. You can even run it in the browser as well. You can directly run it. You want continue connecting? Yes. Yeah. Now it got connected. Now you need to install Java. I'm using Java 17. Make sure that the version matches. Yeah. Install Java. Yeah, the Java has been installed. Now you need to install Kafka as I'm using Kafka for my user profile and authentication for communication. So you need to install Kafka. You need to use T2 medium or else if I running Kafka you won't have enough space. Yeah, forgot to unzip. We need to also after downloading the Kafka TGZ file you need to unzip it and you need to go into the folder. Yeah, now run Kafka zookeeper. Open a new terminal and now you need to run Kafka server. Mostly run it in the local system, local terminal because sometimes your browser gets stuck. So running it in your local will make it easy. Local terminal will make it easy. Sometimes the browser gets stopped, so make sure you run the server and see that the server was started. Now you can start with the deployment of your microservices. Yeah, as you have already added your instances, so you need to create a Maven file. You need to install Maven. Yeah, first you need to deploy Eureka. Yeah, you need to create an S3 bucket. Yeah, I am doing all the Maven install. Creating the target file. Yeah, the database haven't started yet. But it gets started. Yeah, now the database has been started. It is active. Go to your endpoint and check whether the database is working or not in the connected with your local system. MySQL Workbench. Paste the endpoint in the host name. Yeah. Now you need to give username and password that you have provided while creating the database. Yeah, I'm creating user profile for my user profile microservice and authentication database for authentication microservice. Now copy the endpoint and go to your microservice application properties for authentication and change the localhost 33060 33060 to your endpoint. Yeah, you need to also change the Eureka server micros in the microservices as well. You need to check the IP address. I'm using DNS IPv4. You can also give public IP address, but using DNS is okay because public IP address might change sometimes. Create an S3 bucket and put your target files in there. Make the S3 bucket public. Yeah, if you want to know how to create an S3 bucket and make it public, yeah, it will be, I will show you it at the end of the video while deploying Angular. Yeah, I have uploaded all my target files. Upload them. Yeah, it's a long, yeah, it will take some time because the file is large. Yeah, it's uploaded. You need to first deploy your Eureka. You can create an instance and you can deploy, but if you are deploying, change the IP address, the connection in your application properties. Download the file here. Perform vget space your URL. Yeah, the file is downloaded. Now run the jar file. As you have already installed Java, you can run the jar file. If you are creating a new instance and deploying in your microservice there, you need to install Java there as well. Right now I'm running all my instances on the same, all my microservices on the same instance, but you can deploy on different instances. Yeah, check the, yeah, it started running right now. You can check the output. Yeah, my Eureka is started running. Yeah, now you need to deploy your config server. Go to your file, copy the URL of the config server where you have used your S3 bucket, where you have uploaded the jar file in the S3 bucket. Yeah, now run the jar file. Started running. Yeah, go for the check in Eureka whether it started working or not. Yeah, you can see the config server started working. Follow the same steps for deploying all the microservices. I start with my authentication. Download the authentication jar file from S3 bucket in your instance. Run the jar file. The authentication started working. Yeah, it started. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, it started. Yeah, you can see that is also connected with Kafka as we already specified the DNS IP address in the Kafka configuration. I'm going to deploy your user profile. Download the jar file in your instance. Run the jar file. Yeah, user profile microservices is started. Yeah, microservices has started. You can see it connected with Kafka as well. Yeah. You can check in the Eureka whether it is working or not. And now I'm going to deploy my music microservice. Yeah, let me go. You can also deploy your microservice in Elastic Beanstalk if you want, but you need to create an application if you like to use Elastic Beanstalk. But right now I provided with less number of instance in Elastic. Yeah, so that's why I'm using EC2. I'm going to deploy my API gateway on Elastic Beanstalk. I'm going to name the version 1.2. Yeah, you need to upload your target file, jar file. You can deploy your API gateway in your EC2 instance as well. But if you are deploying it in Elastic Beanstalk, you need to specify the port as 5000 in server.port on the application properties of the microservice. Yeah, let me deploy my music service in EC2. Yeah, I have already downloaded my jar.
Ayush, please join. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can see that microservices has been connected. Let me see, my music also started. Yeah, it started. Let me deploy my wishlist microservice. Downloading my jar file into the EC2 instance. The jar file is downloaded. Yeah, it's not with it, it's java minus jar, wishlist. So, yeah, your jar file name. Yeah, it started. If you are using microservice for wishlist and for your another microservice, if you are using Mongo for wishlist service, if you are using Mongo, connect it to Mongo Atlas. Yeah, my elastic beanstalk still is running. Yeah, it will take some time. I deployed my API gateway and elastic beanstalk. Yeah, you need to go for a security groups. Yeah, give all TCP. Yeah, you can see it started running. Yeah, my API gateway microservices started. Now copy the URL. Yeah, you need to convert the HTTP to HTTPS when you are deploying your Angular. So you need to convert it. You can use like API gateway proxy. API gateway you can proxy and convert the HTTP to HTTPS. Or else you can directly create a microservice and you don't need to deploy your API gateway. Yeah, you need to select proxy resource and course origins and name proxy, open flower brackets and close flower brackets, proxy plus. You can name it anything. It's not only proxy resource name. Yeah, you need to edit integration. Yeah, you need to select proxy integration, HTTP proxy integration, and you need to copy your API gateway URL. Yeah, and you need to close your brackets and you need to do. Yeah, you need to give it that way. Proxy is same way, but you need to not specify place in that. Yeah, you need to enable your course origin. You need to deploy, create a stage name. Yeah, copy it. Copy the proxy until proxy. Copy it. Go into your Angular application. You need to paste your URL here. Make sure that URL is correct. Remove the proxy. what is there inside the later part will get inside the proxy. It will go to the proxy. API v1.0, everything will, all the endpoints after proxy, all the endpoints that you have sent will go into the endpoint for the proxy. Yeah, now you need to use ng build. Create a S3 bucket for your Angular. My Spotify app. Block all. Yeah, this is how you create an S3 bucket. You need to unselect block all and acknowledge. Create a bucket. Yeah, after creating a bucket, uh, you need to open the bucket and you need to upload your Angular files here. It will be present in your Angular application in the folder on the dist. Yeah, Spotify in your application. You need to select all the files and folders also. Yeah, now it's getting uploaded. Now you need to enable static routing, static website hosting. Enable, and you need to give index.html. If you have an error page, give an error.html, so that when you do a page reload, it will redirect to that. Save changes. You need to make the public permissions. You need to make it public. You need to copy the script. JSON format. Yeah. You need to go in the bucket area and you need to change your bucket area. Yeah. Match. Now you have saved. Go to your objects. Oh, yeah, I have created an S3 bucket error page, which will redirect to my index. On page reload, it will redirect to my index.html. Now open your index. Go to your permissions. Properties. Yeah, you need to go to your properties. Yeah, you can see that my application has started running.